Hi, this is Chris. I'm here for Pasty Bap, and I'm standing here with...
Andi Thompson of Pro Wrestling Ulster.
And your position is, Andy?
I'm currently the COO, or the business manager.
Can you give us a brief history of how you have come to the point you're at the minute?
Pro Wrestling Ulster started in 2007. It was a training school, and we started putting on live shows in Malone Rugby Club. Progressed on to the Balmoral Hotel. This year we've moved into the city centre, and the response has been fantastic. So it's now sort of time for us to step up onto a bigger level and sort of let people know that we're here, you know.
What sort of improvements has the company made over the years?
Everything from the production of the show, the talent, booking of the shows, storylines, venues, our training centre. Everything has slowly but surely gradually got better and better until we're now here to sort of put ourselves out on the big scene.
You have recently embraced the social media in a much bigger way. Have you found that useful?
Yeah, absolutely. We'd ran just beginning with our website and Facebook, and we started realising there was a big response from Facebook, so we started our Twitter account. It's a great way to interact one-on-one straight away, so we're now using it at the live shows, so you can interact with the crowd, see fan photos, things like that. The new Takedown TV on YouTube's been fantastic. The response has been great, and it's a good way to let guys know who aren't able to get to the shows what exactly has happened, highlights of certain matches and the big stories that are happening.
Also, recently you've forged some new sort of alliances with other wrestling schools and other wrestling federations that there is. Fight Factory Pro Wrestling in Dublin is one. Have you found that to be beneficial in terms of carrying on storylines and talent?
Absolutely. I mean, wrestling in Ireland, there's always been good relationships between the companies, especially down south. So FFPW have been going for a long time. There's main stage wrestling down there, which a couple of our guys will cross over onto. But it's a good way to get the guys' experience with other people, and it's a great way to bring fresh talent up for the fans here, you know, so they get to see the likes of Phil Boyd, and they get to see women's wrestling come to Northern Ireland, you know, with Katey Harvey. So it's really good.
Also, you have stepped up your game in terms of your training school recently. Can you tell us a bit about what's been happening with that?
Yeah, in like I say, 2012 we went full time with a centre. Before then it was rented space. Got our own space now. This year we've gone on to we've got 2-story building. So we're going to have wrestling ring full time upstairs, matted areas. There's more classes, fitness classes, and we're going to be building a gym downstairs as well. We've got new equipment coming in and brand new rings being delivered this Friday. So it's very, very exciting. There's great amount of people actually ask us all the time about training. Bringing you've got a good waiting list there, you know what I mean? But there's obviously room for more people to come on board, you know.
Obviously, one of your big stars is the giant Tron. He was in the WWE development for a couple of years. Do you find his experience there, and also there's a couple of guys, Tucker and stuff, have taken part in some of the TNA gut check stuff. Do you think that experience with the bigger companies, they've transferred it through to what you are doing now?
Absolutely, and you see it in the training. You see it in the programs that the guys are running, the experience that they've built up now, and how they're getting the younger talent to sort of teach them the wrestling fitness. It's really, really big thing to have good cardio in wrestling, and it's the drills and things that are coming back from those centres that have really helped us.
Coming up at the end of August, you have your Super Show. This has brought a couple of different changes. There's a venue change for this, a slightly higher price tag on the tickets, and you're bringing in, just fresh off of his WWE run, Drew Galloway. Can you talk us through how that came to be and how you think people are reacting?
It's something we've had on the cards for quite some time. We've not Drew Galloway as such, but getting some sort of talent in. We've been going for 7 years. We've kept our prices at £5 for 7 years. At £10, we're still more competitive than the other shows that are out there. With what you could say is maybe not as famous a Starr. With Drew Galloway, just as the moment it was announced he was released, it was an opportunity for our team to sort of go and get him. And it's a big coup for Pro Wrestling Ulster. But like I said earlier, we want to put a mark out there. 7 years building slowly, and now we're ready to maybe pick up the pace a little bit. The Europa Hotel, big venue, is going to be maybe 400 seated, possibly standing areas as well. We've got Drew Galloway coming down, you know, double page spread in the Sunday World just going out. So, you know, it's good time for us, and we're certainly trying to make our mark as loud as we possibly can.
And speaking of the recent publicity, we've just seen there on Sunday that the current inverted commas champ JDP and 101 have recently laid claim to the ownership of PW. What's the official stance on that at the minute?
The official stance is it's being reviewed. As far as I'm concerned, it's no comment. So I'll leave it there.
What was the backstage atmosphere like whenever JDP recently sort of turned his back on the fans? And I'm sure for a lot of you it was a shock to see somebody who has been an absolute fan favourite for so long committing such dastardly deeds, for want of another word.
Yeah, guys backstage, and I don't know if anybody was there that night.
I was.
You were, yeah. You'll see most of them have already came through the curtain when it had happened. It's just shock. We're buzzing now to try and get on with things, and like we've got Drew coming down, platinum tickets going nuts. But it's interesting backstage. We had them turn up. They turned up at Ballycastle as well, so we had them in the crowd at Ballycastle, which didn't end very well for Rocky Starr. So they were ejected from our show at Ballycastle. Of course, Terry T's invited them down to the Europa, so we'll see what they have to say for themselves. But backstage, the guys are excited. They always want to improve and step up. And if JDP and 101 want to go down the road they're going down, you know, it's leaving a space for somebody else to get a spot on the show, you know. So it's really JDP that's missing out.
So you're going to have to come to the show at the end of the month to find out what happens with the rest of that there. Hopefully Tucker can step in or something like that there and help sort it out.
Yeah, definitely the 24th of August. I mean, Tucker at this moment in time, you know, and I've said it on YouTube, Tucker's the #1 guy in pro wrestling Ulster, and deservedly so. So hopefully we'll get some sort of resolution to what's happening on the 24th of August. But I think we're going to have some news coming out. Takedown TV will definitely have a couple of exclusives coming out, and then of course the Facebook pages as well. So we've got announcements to come out for the 24th of August. And this is coming out on the 2nd of August, so we've got Antrim on the 3rd. Yeah. So we'll see what happens up at Antrim. So, but it's definitely exciting.
So then just lastly, time for some plugs, and then any tippets you can give us to finish it off.
Recently we've had some of the Scottish guys come in, so you've seen the likes of Damian O'Connor, Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry's coming back to Pro Wrestling Ulster this summer, so he is indeed. He has challenged Carl McKeag for his title in Antrim, so Carl's replied and said that he's going to take him on. So it's the N7 Championship versus the All Ulster Championship, so that's one to look out for. Apart from that, there coming up, it's just the bigger venues. You're going to see us in bigger venues. We've recently moved out. Of course, we went to Ballycastle, Antrim. We've had a show in Coleraine. We're looking to get over to the west of the country as well. We're trying to sort of look at Omagh, Armagh, maybe Enniskillen, possibly up in Derry, Strabane area as well. So just keep an eye out for us. We're not going anywhere. Definitely not going anywhere at all. So the PWU Championship, we would like to obviously have it back in our grasps. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. Training centre's going really well, so hopefully we'll see some fresh faces. Good alliances down south, so you know everything's sort of rosy in the garden. But I would say we're not just riding the crest of the wave just yet. We have a bit more work to do to really make it go. But you can certainly see us again in the Europa Hotel, and that'll be before the end of the year.
Andi T, thank you very much.
No problem, Chris. Cheers.